Late Night Health continues. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be spending some time with Stephen Halpern and talking about music for health. That's happening next on Late Night Health. Right now, we've got Adam Markel. He is the creator of the best-selling Pivot, The Art and Science of Reinventing Your Career and Life. He's a speaker, he's a writer, he's an educator, and he's really a nice guy. Adam, let's talk about Pivot and health. How can I use the Pivot process to get healthier, feel better, both physically and mentally?
It's so important. I mean, without knowing everybody's situation, I'm going to make a broad statement, and that is that pretty much everybody is overwhelmed in some state. You know, it's obviously different things for different people, but we're all running very, very fast all the time. I mean, there's very little boundaries, and depending on your age, you can remember when we didn't have cell phones, and computers and everything giving us information and having information at our fingertips all the time. And obviously there's huge benefits, productivity benefits to that, but there's almost no boundaries. And so people are stressed out and overwhelmed more now than ever. And I think the disruption politically, socially, in so many different ways, and with our health and with our finances even, is so prevalent that folks are just worn down. And my own personal belief is that when we are worn down, we're in that sort of more afraid state, that we're more susceptible to dis-ease or disease, as some people like to say, and because the diseases that are opportunistic, and so we've got to be stronger. That's the bottom line. Health is about being in a state of optimal physical well-being. That's how I would define health. And so to be stronger, to be more healthy, and to be at a higher state of well-being, we've got to do things that are a little bit different than we currently do them, and we've got to be resilient. So one of the key principles of the Pivot process and Pivot teaching is developing resilience. And I remember not long ago reading a Harvard Business Review article. So, sometimes people think, well, health, it might be a little soft, as compared to something like, money and finance and business. And those folks would be wrong. So Harvard Business Review decided they were going to study the correlation between high-performance athletes, the ones that win Olympic gold medals and win the biggest tournaments and the biggest championships in the world, and business people and entrepreneurs. And what they found, I'll cut to the chase with this really quickly, is that the high-performance athletes, the ones that won those big championships and gold medals, they did something. They were able to do something that the lesser athletes, the lesser capable performers were not able to do. And that was to recover quickly. And that those athletes had actual rituals for recovery. And that's what made them more resilient. And when they looked at business people and entrepreneurs who are not just playing a sport for 2 or 3 hours at a time, but are literally doing this kind of thing, sometimes 6 and 7 days a week and 12 and 14 hours a day, that the need for those executives and those business owners and entrepreneurs to create rituals for resilience was even greater than among those athletes, and that was a distinguishing point. So we read that article and we looked at what we were already teaching. We said, this is so compatible. And so for us, the pivot here is to learn how to create more resilience in your life.
Well, don't you have to understand that I'm sorry to interrupt, but don't you have to understand that I have a problem first? Admit that you have a situation, that you're overweight, that you're overwhelmed.
That's a big yes. That pause with me not nodding up and down in agreement and then going, we're on radio. You got to say something, right?
Yeah. You do the video work. I do the audio work.
Yes with an exclamation point. And you know what? I know you're being a little cheeky there when you say that, because there are people that are listening to this probably right now who are maybe thinking to themselves, maybe it is time for me to admit that my body isn't quite the way I'd like it to be, or where it was once upon a time. And how does that contribute to my energy levels, for example? You want to succeed in any area of life, whether it's in relationships or your business or something, you're going to have to apply more energy in that area, and certainly with your health. So I'll give you an example. Just recently, we turned the new year, and I said to myself, how's my health? And where do I want? And I'm in good shape. I'm in better shape than a lot of people. But I didn't like the fact that I started to see a little thing emerging from my belly that hadn't been there before. Like little one of these beer bellies that I don't drink beer. So I'm going, where's that coming from? Long story short is that I've decided to create a new ritual, because in the Pivot book, we give not only the recipe for resilience, but we also talk about the power of rituals, these new master habits we create. And so I get up now 2 hours earlier than normal. I'm in the gym. I have an accountability partner, and I meet that person at the gym at 5:45 in the morning, and I'm on the elliptical machine by 6 a.m. and do a little free weight, and swim and sauna, and I'm back in the saddle at 7:30 when our youngest kid is leaving for school, and I'm there to
listen. Adam has a gift for us. If you go to adammarkel.com, is that the place?
Oh, you know what? They can always go there for sure, but the gift is actually a beautiful Kickstart guide for people who would want to find out more about how they can pivot in some area of their life.
And what is that URL? We're out of time.
Oh, startmypivot.com. You go to startmypivot.com to get that free gift.
Startmypivot.com. Adam, thanks a lot. Hold on a second. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues. Don't go away.